Hi everyone, welcome to 5 Minutes with the Guru, and I'm with my other two gurus, David and Paul. Thanks for joining me, guys. Now we're all excited because this is budget week. The Treasurer handed down the federal budget on Tuesday night, and every financial planner in the planet was salivating because it's such an exciting time for it. It's like grand final night, isn't it?
Better than.
And so there's a lot of information that was passed on by the Treasurer, and at the end of the day, we try and analyse what's important for yourselves and how do our clients take a position going forward that we're in a better position than we are today. So things we want to talk about today that really affect you, I think, superannuation and aged care. They're the main things we're going to talk about today. So off the top, guys, I'm just going to let people know certain things were confirmed in the budget. So if you're on pension in your superannuation, so you've got an allocated pension or an account-based pension, you're taking the minimum over the last couple of years. So if you were under 65, your minimum used to be 4%. Last couple of years it's been down to 2% you could take. If you were 65 to 75, you were on a 5% minimum, and the last 2 years it was down to 2.5%. Well, just want to confirm the minimums go back to the normal rates on the 1st of July 2021. And for example, under 65, 4%, 65 to 75, 5%, and over 75, 6%, and so forth going up. If you need any clarification on that, give our office a call. The other thing that's changing for people that are working, where your employer pays superannuation, what they call the superannuation guarantee levy of 9.5% of your salary, that's going up to 10% on the 1st of July this year. So everyone gets a little bit more superannuation, so that's good. And another thing that's happening is people that do part-time work, you didn't get paid superannuation unless you earn at least $450 a month. Now, the government's changed that, so if you earn anything now, you will get superannuation guarantee of 10% after the 1st of July paid in. And that's a good thing for everyone, and particularly for people that have got multiple part-time jobs that you didn't earn more than $450 in each job. Well, now you get paid appropriately of superannuation. So there are a couple of little things. As with everything that was issued in the budget, it's all proposed, so it's not legislated, it's not law. So that has to go through. We're expecting most of these changes that we're talking about today will go through. There hasn't been any sort of kickback from the opposition at this point, so we expect they will proceed. So guys, a couple of things happening now. I've heard in the budget, they also, when people put money into superannuation, when you get a certain age, you can't put any more money into super, and you have to be working or whatever. So they talk about the work test. What's the work test mean, Paul?
So you're exactly right, and you're sort of heading in the right direction there. So there was a big change that came out of the budget, or a big change from a financial planning point of view, that there's a few restrictions on what you can put into super as well as when you can put into super. So typically people up to 67 can make contributions, but over 67 they have to meet that work test. And that work test is to work 40 hours in any 30-day period in that financial year. One of the big proposals was to take that out so that people up to 75 can contribute regardless of whether or not they're working. And that'll have a big impact for a lot of our clients where they've sold a big asset, they've got an inheritance, or maybe they've just got extra cash that they want to put into that tax-free environment. Previously, if they were over 67 and not working, they were basically locked out of that tax-free environment. That'll open that back up, and there'll be a lot more strategies and a lot more different ways to get that money in now that's coming through.
Yeah, fantastic. So it opens up opportunity if you want to restructure some of your assets. Previously you couldn't get into this tax-free bucket, but now we can have strategies to do that.
Exactly right.
Good. I also heard the when you sell a property and you're over 65 and probably not working and didn't meet the work test, you had surplus money, you couldn't do much else with it except go outside of the superannuation arena. Now the downsizer rules that you could put your surplus money back into superannuation, I believe they've dropped that age limit.
Yeah, so very much a similar sort of strategy there. So typically people over 67 or previously 65 had restrictions on what they could put into super, and in 2018 they brought out that downsizer contribution, which was a special sort of specific contribution where people that had sold their home could use some of that money to put into super and use that to live off down the track. that was limited to people over 65. They're suggesting they'll bring that back to 60, which means it's open to more people. So people that are selling their main home can put in a big chunk with that contribution, as well as their additional contributions through the abolition of the work test as well. So there's a lot of opportunities that are opening up to get more money into that tax-free environment.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you work hard all your life and you've got assets built up. So if we can get it into these buckets where it's tax-free, you're a whole lot better in front. So that's good. So thanks, Paul. David, aged care.
Yeah.
There's a lot of changes in aged care. I think one of the things that we've lacked in this country for a long time is looking after our seniors, and it's good that they're getting a lot more attention now. I heard there's greater access now to respite care. Not quite sure on the term respite care. What's that mean, and who's available to get that?
Yeah, so respite care is basically an opportunity to effectively test out an aged care facility, and you can, if you've got family members or someone that you're currently taking care of, basically go into an aged care facility for up to 63 days before you actually commit to paying bonds and entry fees and that. As I said, it allows you to have that break, and it can be in 1 week, 2 week, or even a month lot, as long as it doesn't go over the 63 days within a financial year.
Yeah, okay. And how do they apply for that?
So it basically starts all with the ACAT assessment. So ACAT stands for the Aged Care Assessment Team. They come around, do a medical assessment on you, determine that due to your health and condition that you do need to have some care required. And then with that, you then can go and speak to an aged care facility to see if they have a spot available under respite care to just spend a couple of weeks in that facility to just check it out. And it gives the carers a bit of a break as well.
Yeah, good. So a lot of people, when we talk about aged care, rather than going to an aged care facility, some people like to stay at home. And I heard in the budget they've got another $80,000 care packages for home care. What's that mean?
Yeah, 100%, Pete. So basically, we'll take a step back. Rather than actually get to the actual accommodation aged care, you may choose to stay at home and feel that you still need some support at home. So the government has a package called Home Care Package, which again, once you have your ACAT assessment completed and determine that you need some help at home, the government will then determine how much help you'll require. And that comes in the form of packages. There's 4 packages, depending on your assessment. The higher the number, the more services you'll receive. And then once you get that home care package assessment done, then you can then go and apply for services such as cleaning services, cooking services, transportation, gardening and stuff like that.
Yeah, good.
The only problem has been in the past is that there hasn't been enough service providers to meet those packages that have been available. So as you mentioned before, the government is committed to funding another 80,000 packages, which will hopefully provide those services a lot quicker to the people needing it.
Yeah, fantastic. So folks, that's a summary of what we think is important for you in this budget. Anything with regard to what we've talked about and you're not sure, just give us a call. The team's here waiting for you to help in any way we can. So today is the start of the rest of your life. Make it a good one.
See you guys.
See you guys.